fly spear out of midair. A spear out of midair. Bron Breakker.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, it's the Red Carpet Rain featuring TBK, the Turnbuckle King. We're here at again. We're going to talk about the recent episode of Monday Night Raw. And we're talking about the Monday Night Raw that was recently for August 12th. We're going to talk about it, guys. Recent episode. Now, you guys know that we are heading to Bash in Berlin very, very soon. And also, we are here not just live on YouTube, but also on X and Facebook as well. Let's keep that in mind. So we will talk about Raw. We will talk about what I think of Raw. We'll go over what went wrong with Raw and my final review. You guys get the likes as we come into the ring. Let's talk about it. We'll go over the bonus round of how would you book the mixed tag match. And I'm talking about Rhea and Damian, the Terror Twins versus Dominic and Liv Morgan. Let's see what Kate's here right before we begin. Figure 4 TV, salute to you. Say great show. I know it's about to be lit. You doggone right it is. You doggone right it is. But before we begin, guys, let's look over the match card. Let's see what was scheduled on Monday Night Raw. Let's look over it for a couple moments there. All right, we got Odyssey Jones here, first night match on Raw. Got Bronson Reed here, Randy Orton. Got American May versus American Alpha. Then we also have Damage Control versus Zoe and Shayna. And when there's other matches, this is advertised. Let's keep that in mind. Now let's go over the beginning of Monday Night Raw. What happened on the beginning of Monday Night Raw? Oh, yeah, that's right. We had a very good beginning of Monday Night Raw. And I'm meaning that we are talking about, of course, one of the biggest stories in wrestling today, guys. Now, before we do that, make sure you get the likes up as we come to the ring. Let's get those likes up as we come in, because we're going to talk about some good stuff here. Let's get those likes up. Let's make sure the likes are always up. And like I said, we are definitely going to take it in. Well, let's continue. Let's proceed, shall we? Now, we're going to go over talk about the beginning of Raw. We're going to talk about Rhea Ripley. They opened up Raw. Now, you know she's supposed to open up Raw. You know that she talks about Dom. She talks about the betrayal. She talks about pretty much everything. She talked about how she was just hitting the lines there. Rhea was going off, guys. She was talking about how she was betrayed. She said, Dom, she said some good, one of her best promos, actually. But anyway, she talked about how she said, Dom, I know you heard before, you stabbed me in the back, but it wasn't deep enough. I was like, man, she was going in, and then she was just talking about the whole Liv Morgan, everything. I mean, where did Rhea stop? That's for one. Rhea, for one, she was also saying that you know she was betrayed at SummerSlam. She said, I seen the man you become. She was also saying to Dom that, you know, that she was going to pretty much get her revenge on Liv and Dom. She made that very, very clear. So I'm not surprised at that at all. But it was very nasty one. But salute to Rhea Ripley. Then Dom and Liv came out. Now, you know, Dom, he was going in. He was saying, hey, that You guys also saying too that Don was saying you not gonna you didn't let me be a man. Remember I said that Dom, I understood his heel turn on Rhea. Rhea always treated him like he was a lackey, treat him like he was the underling. He said Liv lets me be a man, she lets me eat my his tenders, talking about the tender wings and stuff. And then he was saying, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man calling a woman mommy. And I gotta say, what Dom, I agreed on that. That is one word to describe that. And he went in.
Yeet.
He had a good point on that. He had a good point. Man, he had a very good point on that. And he went in on Rhea, and he was like, she did another thing he said to Rhea too, said, hey Rhea, Liv let me do one thing that I could never do with you. And as I beat my deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio, in the mixed tag match, no, not a mixed tag match, the one-on-one match, even though they cheated, they do Judgment Day style, but he went in. Oh my goodness. He went in. I mean, he was not playing around at all. He was not playing around at all. Man. This was crazy though. Very good opener Monday Night Raw, and we knew that she was going to open Raw, but definitely it was something to remember. But let's see what you guys got to say in the ring so far. Very subliminal promo. Yep. Zolt said hi. Salute to you. Beat this Poppy by himself. I know it's crazy, but yeah, he cheated. But this is gonna set up for their match at Bash at Berlin, which will be my bonus round. I want to talk about it. They're setting up for this. This was announced later, but let's get back to the segment. Very good segment. Open up the show. Very good segment by Rhea. Rhea definitely was going in on down, saying some very subliminal stuff as Figure 4 TV said, saying some, telling that he enjoy his man stuff, enjoying his man hardware, if you guys know what I mean. But he was going in. I was like, wow, and wow. But definitely, it was a very good way to set up the show, and it was like pretty much all bets were off. This is really going in to be a great feud of these four here. And we knew that this was coming. I kind of said this before. This was coming. I knew this was coming. We all saw it was coming. But it's a great way to kick things off because we need that. We definitely need that. But other than that, though, it was just a great segment. It set the tone for the whole show. Definitely set the tone for the whole show. I loved every second of it. She called with that line, said she's proud he finally beat his Poppy by himself. Yeah. Yeah, definitely did. Wow, just crazy. But anyway, they kicked off the segment. And then, later on, we saw that Rhea, had while she was talking to Dom and Liv, we know Damian Priest popped up behind him. He attacked Dom, and he's beating him through the arena. Then Liv jumped on Damian's back to protect Dom. Then we know that Rhea just came up out of nowhere. I'm still trying to figure out how she get up the steps so good. Did they cut the camera angles? Did they take a rocket ship and shoot her up there? I know it's TV, but man, this is crazy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That was very, very good work that they were doing. Very, very good, very good what they was doing. I was like, wow, it was just amazing how they was able to maneuver everything. But this is a good way to kick off the show. And we know the setting up the match. We know everything that they're doing. And it was just a wild, it was a goose chase the whole time. And I'm glad that these two are able to kick this off. I'm glad we got Rhea. I'm glad she got Damien on her side. You know, she's pretty much was outnumbered. We knew Damien was outnumbered, but we knew at the end those two had each other, and it was a good way to get things going because this needs to be set up. This had to be set up a good way possible, and it was just, whew, just like wow, and wow. I don't know how to say that enough. I mean, Damien. I mean, it was just. I mean, if you guys remember, that segments were good. It was just good. I mean, they all good work, but all credit to all four of them actually. By Dom, by Rhea, by Damien, and Liv. Good work to all four of them. They definitely are putting the work. I like what they. It was good work. I mean, whether you like them or not, it was good work. I mean, every sequence was good work. I had no ill will towards the segment. No ill will whatsoever. It was played out perfect. Perfect storytelling, guys. Perfect storytelling. You know, if you got I mean if you guys remember the story just my goodness, what did the question is they didn't do anything wrong. That's how good it was. I mean, this was very good storytelling. This sets up everything. I mean, everything between these four. We know it's going to go down. We know that these four are not playing. That's how it's going to be. So I give credit to them for that. I give credit to them for that. So this is good how they're playing this out. This is getting played out very good. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out am I losing it though? Did you see how she just came up like that? I mean, am I fooled? I mean, you ain't tricked me that she got up there that quick. Something helped her. You're not gonna trick me.
What you need to do is stop playing. You might have all these crusty, dusty musties tricked, but you ain't tricking us.
You ain't tricking me. Rhea got up there pretty quick. Pretty quick. She moved very quickly. You're right. But other than that, though, this was a good way to kick off this show. I loved every second of it. So this is a good way. This kicked off Monday Night Raw. So let's talk about the next segment of the show. Let's talk about what else happened. Let's see what else happened. Now this kicked off the first match. We know the first match of also was Odyssey Jones. He had a match against Vincent Winey. He won, and then we know Final Testament came out. We know they came and talked to him. Now, you know, New Day was by his corner. We know Kofi was telling Xavier. You know, Xavier not really feeling this. Odyssey Jones do. He replaced the Big E. And he told him, you know, he just like giving Xavier orders. He's not feeling that at all. He's not feeling that. But other than that, he had a match real quick. Wasn't long. Then Xavier, Karen Cross came out. And he talked about how, he's on a quest to shut the whole New Day down. Just to shut it down, period. Whatsoever. He wants the whole thing shut down. And he will stop at no cost to make sure New Day is no more. You can't tell me no different. He wants to make sure that's done. So he's doing that. And next thing you know, Xavier Woods was going to say something. Hey, we're going to set up a match, blah, blah, blah. And then Kofi just cut him off. So yeah, we're gonna do a six-man tag next week. And Xavier's like, bro, you're not letting me speak. It's kind of similar to the whole. I feel like the New Day of Kofi and Xavier is similar to the Alpha Academy, where Chad Gable is not letting Otis be his own man. So it's like the roles are reversed, guys. It's like Chad Gable is now Kofi, and now Otis is like Xavier, except Otis becoming a good person. Xavier's gonna turn bad. Instead of Chad Gable being the heel, Kofi is the babyface. It's the whole same blueprint. Trust me, you guys will see it when it unfolds, and it's going to unfold very, very soon. Yep. Yeah. So this was a very good segment, though. After his match, so I know Odyssey Jones, he's pretty much there to help the New Day break up, split. Unfortunately, that's what he's there for. He's not there really putting anybody over of any sort or pushing. He's there, to push off the breakup of New Day, Kofi, and Xavier, because we know Big E is not clear to return. They say he may not ever return. If that's the case, that sucks. Don't get me wrong. We all want Big E to come back. But other than that, that's what Xavier was. I'm sorry, that's what Xavier was going to flip soon, and Odyssey Jones is there for that specific reason. There's no other reason for him to be there. Now he may have a one-off match feud afterwards, guys, but other than that, I don't see nothing else that's going to pretty much happen with that whole scenario. I don't see it at all. Maybe you guys see it. I don't see where this is going to go next. So, well, that's all for that segment. Next thing you know, we had Alpha Academy versus American Made. Now, Alpha Academy was faced off against American Made, which is the Creed brothers. Now, backstage before the match, Ivy now has spoke to Maxine Dupree. They got a good, friendship. She said, hey, I don't think you should get involved out there, with the Alpha Academy. Let the guys, duke it out. We need to talk. And Maxine was like, no, I'm going to be there for my team. I'm a team player. And, Ivy now had to look like, okay, I figured you would say that. So they had the match. It was getting close. Both American Made Alpha Academy doing their thing. They're doing the best they can on each side. Very good match, by the way. I like how it was near falls, a lot of near falls in the match. Otis had his moment with the Caterpillar. And, of course, Pre-Rose showed their strength. Tozawa jumping off the top rope, everything. And it came out of nowhere. Maxine's cheering on the Alpha Academy. Then we got Ivy now coming out. She attacks Maxine Dupree. And she got on the table and she put a submission move on top of the announce table. And Otis is looking on and being distracted, not focusing on the match. He said, what are you doing? And then next you know, Alpha Academy rolls him up and Brutus rolls him up. Then Julius makes sure he stay on top of it. 1, 2, 3. It solidifies Ivy now is officially a heel, and she's already aligned with the Creed brothers, but it is for certain she is staying on the Creed brothers side, and Maxine Dupree is shown lying down. So that was a good match. The finish, not so much, but I get it. They want to show that Ivy now is still aligned with the Creed brothers. I get what they're trying to do with that. I really do. Trust me, I really do. And I'm saying that in full honesty. But that's what it was shown there. And they pretty much, shut that down. That was the end of that match. But also as well, we're going to see what happens next. I don't know what's going to happen to Ivy now, Maxine Dupree. I'm a little confused. They're a little conflicted. I'm not sure, but we're going to see what the next move is going to be as far as that goes. And if it makes sense. Hopefully it does, because it would be a shame if it's not. But that's how it's going to go down. That's how that match will go. But next thing you know, it's definitely going to show some spark up some things. Definitely spark up some things. So we'll see what happens next. And also, let's not forget too, while the match started as well. This is before the match even started, like I said before. We also had when Otis was coming to the ring, guys. When he came to the ring, he was taunted by Obafemi. Obafemi was on Monday Night Raw. And he needs a new challenger for the next NXT episode. And I would say that Otis more likely will be a front runner to answer the open challenge of Obafemi's NXT North American Championship. But yeah, I just wanted to notate that. But yeah, this was a very interesting segment here in match. But yeah, no, definitely didn't feel like 3 hours last night. Yep. Well, in that though, let's move on in the show. We had Damage Control. They had a match against Shayna and Zoe. The tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, and Unholy Union came out. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Like I said, this match here, yeah, it was okay match to me, but it started off slow, but it picked up later. A lot of super kick by Zoe and Shayna, but we saw at one point in the match, the turning point is where they was trying to super kick somebody Damage Control. No, and I believe Alba Fire. She got super kicked. She was super kicked while her Isla was sitting in the chair. So when she did that, we saw EO was getting the ring, about to hit the win after they actually got on her moonsault. Isla Dawn interfered, DQ, and the champions took them out. Then it was just both takes battling it out. No contest, DQ. So but it was a solid match, and it's telling the story of the women's tag team championship. And it's gonna eventually come down to Unholy Union defend the belts against we got what Damage Control and the whole Shayna and Zoe. But this is a good story that they're telling with that. Very good story. I'm not gonna be I have my reasons for certain things, but this is gonna be a good story. I do believe it's gonna be a lot going on with that. But we're gonna see what the whole deal is gonna be. And that match is set for next week. We'll get more into that near the end. So that was the end of that match in that segment. Now later on, we had another segment, and this is something that's been going on. We had Gunther being addressed by Randy Orton. Randy Orton said some very good things. He said that 20 years ago was marked the milestone for him. 20 years ago, he won his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. A few weeks later, Bash and Berlin, he will win his 15th World Heavyweight Championship. He will defeat Gunther and Bash and Berlin. And pretty much he's very close to the 17. If he wins that, him and he'll be 2 behind to break the record. But, I see what they're doing. Gunther came out to Randy Orton. With all the potential, you are a screw-up. Your grandfather screw up. Your dad would screw up. Everything. And when that came out, we had a segment of Drew McIntyre. Remember, Drew McIntyre got involved. He came in. He said that he should be in the world title picture. He said he defeated Punk. He said that's done. He should be in the world title picture now. He said that's what it should come down to. So he believes that he is should be the number one contender, not Randy Orton. And Adam Pearce just got tired of it. He said, Drew, are you about to start whining again like you normally do? And I had to say, that's what Drew does when he don't get his way. I got one word to describe that.
Yeet.
He had a very good point there. But when he did say that, though, it made sense, guys. He does do that. He whines, complains when he don't get his way. We know that Drew is known for that. We know that. But anyway, while these two were talking, Orton and Gunther, Randy Orton said another good thing too. He said, hey, I may be the controversial. I made a lot of mistakes, more than most in the locker room, but I'm the most successful one. I got 5 kids, and I got a hot smoking wife. He was just going in, and he said he gonna win the world title. But while we're in the middle of that, we got a little interruption. While Drew was about to come out, he's about to, dress it. Next thing you know, we had him come out while they were talking. This was played so perfectly how this was played out. So perfectly. I just got to mention that it was perfect. Perfect and perfect. It really was. And since it was so perfect, it shifted one segment and it shifted to another. First thing you know, we're talking about Randy Orton and Gunther center for the title match at Bash in Berlin. Then CM Punk comes to the show up and attacks Drew McIntyre. And while Gunther's looking on, he's distracted. Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere. And then CM Punk attacks Drew. Drew attacks him. Drew takes off his belt. And then he tries to hit Punk. Punk blocked it. He hit Drew with the belt, whooped him, and he kept that belt. Symbolism between his feud. That's how it was. Look at Drew's back. Man. CM Punk wasn't playing. He gave him work.
You about to get that work, son.
He gave him that work. That is the Drew's back, as he showed later on. Now, we was told that CM Punk would not be in attendance at Raw due to flight issues. Remember, that's what Adam Pearce told Drew. And that's what made him go out there to talk to Gunther and Randy, try to interrupt their conversation. And since he knew Punk would not be in attendance, and Punk even said this, like, I knew Drew was going to give in. I knew he would fall for the bait. See, Drew's playing mind games with Punk, but Punk is playing mind games with Drew as well. Very crafted, very good storyline how this is going. This is very good. I mean, very, very crafty of what they're doing at WWE. Every minute counted last night. Every minute counted. It really did. And if you guys remember too, CM Punk had this well played out. He had this well played out last night, and he even said it on that segment that he had, because they went to CM Punk backstage. And when he went backstage, Kathy Kelly talked to him, and he said that he did that on purpose because he knew Drew would run away. And I gotta agree with Punk; he had a point. That's exactly what Drew would have done. So that's a yeet for that. This was great story, great cinema. Yeet. So this was amazing. And he had a point. I don't see where Paul was not wrong for saying that, because he knew that was going to be the case. But yeah. King Rose salute, King Room TV, where you been at, man? Sam Punk's a bigger draw than Drew McIntyre, I think. Yeah, he definitely is. But yeah, he played mind games with Drew. Drew fell for the bait. Next thing you know, Drew got attacked. So that was the whole case with that scenario. And he kept the belt. Like I said, symbolism, guys. He kept the belt. He made sure he held on to the belt at all costs. But let's talk about what else happened. Like I said, these two are going at it. This feud is far from over. That's all I gotta say. Far from over. Far from over between Drew and Punk. There's no way this is going to end anytime soon. And if it is, we will be robbed of a good feud. Very robbed of a good feud. But let's move on to the next part of the show. Next part of the show, we had The Miz versus Bronson Reed. We know Bronson Reed came out. He wanted to make an impact. He said he took out Seth Rollins last week. He was going to do whatever he could to get what he wanted. And he got tired laying around. Now, The Miz, of course, The Miz got that work. We know that. But this wasn't about a good match. This was to put Bronson Reed, take him off TV. Now, as he attacked Miz, R-Truth got in. Since R-Truth set The Miz up in the match, he pushed him over, and he took all the tsunami bombs, similar to how Seth Rollins got tsunamis by Bronson Reed last week. And this time, he did so many of them. He took Truth out. Truth literally took everything from. He was able to take one for The Miz, and Adam Pearce came out, said, if you don't come down, you're gonna get fined. Bronson, he did what he wanted to do, and that's it. He just kept hitting the tsunamis, and it was a wrap. It was just a wrap, and he got fined, and he's also gonna get suspended. It's a good way to write him off TV. because he has no real feud till Seth come back. Seth really is out with the 7 because we know that now. Seth would have came out and made the save for Miz and R-Truth, but he didn't. No Seth to be found. Seth really is injured. And next thing you know, we have Bronson Reed looking strong, similar to last week, but he's suspended now. That's the whole thing about that. He is suspended. That's it for him. Now, how long suspension for? I don't know, but yeah, we definitely got to get there and see what the next story going to be. Now, other than that, though, this was a very good way to set this up. Very good way to set this up, though. So, next segment, we had the main event, guys. We had Mr. Bron Breakker defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn. 2 out of 3 falls match. These guys, man, this match was short of excellent. It was phenomenal. These guys put in the work. You know, they stopped at nothing, put out the best. Now, Sami Zayn won the first pinfall. He hit it with the haluva kick. Bron Breakker hit the second fall. He did that. He hit the second fall, I think, right maybe a few minutes after. But anyway, Bron Breakker had got the second fall. He hit with a spear. He hit a spear through the ropes. And next thing you know, Bron has some good spots. He took a spot from the top of the apron to the rope on Sami Zayn with the clothesline. Very good, well put out spot. Very good spot. Then we know Sami, he put out some good kicks. He got in there fall. But Bron, when Sami went on the top rope and we thought he was going to get Bron got up, hit the spear in mid-air, similar to Edge back in the day. 1, 2, 3, Bron Breakker wins the second fall. 2 out of 3 falls match, and he retains the Intercontinental Championship. And the Intercontinental Champion was in the main event. This dude here, Bron breaks the future. They put out a great match.
Gonna fly spear out of midair. A spear out of midair. Bron Breakker retains.
Bron Breakker retains the Intercontinental Championship in the main event. This is a very, very good segment. I mean, very good match, very good sequence, everything. Very good story there. When these guys, they put it out. They put it out there. So, other than that, though, this was a great match. Best match of the night. They shut it down. Bron Breakker, he's a great Intercontinental champion. He's going to be a great for the business. And he's only 25, 26 years old. He's 26, and he's already doing things that people have never done in their careers or just not getting their careers later on. Now we go over other stuff that happened on Raw. We had Mark Henry show up. So, probably trying to beg to get back in WWE. If he's not back in WWE, he had a son there. Son just signed with WWE. We had that moment. And, of course, we had a moment here of we'll talk more about it. Rhea Ripley. We know, too, that her Damien stood tall. And Finn Balor's involved. Like I said, good moments, though. But we don't get to the review of Monday Night Raw. Let's get to the review of that show. Now, we got a review. We're going to see what happened here. We got the review. What is the review of Raw based off everything that happened tonight? And if I had to guess, the review I give it is a 5 out of 5. Good work by WWE tonight. Good work by the guys on Raw. Everybody putting that work. It showed tonight. Raw did not skip a beat. They did not skip a beat at all. Did not skip a beat. Did not miss not 1 minute. I know there was also a segment of YS6. That was a very brief segment. I didn't forget about that either. But this here, they didn't skip a beat. I really, really enjoyed how they put out Raw. It was not playing around. Everything. I mean, this is pretty much a continuation of last week's Raw. And Raw's getting better and better as we head in. It's like every time we got an upcoming PLE, they keep bringing in the show, bringing in the work. So I like how this show was constructed tonight. Very good show. Now let's go over what went wrong with Raw. We'll go over that in a second. Of course, we will go over the bonus round, so stay tuned for that. Let's go over what went wrong with Raw. A couple things I don't understand, I don't get. I'm gonna speak on that in a second. So you guys get the likes up as we come in, guys. Get those likes up. Let's not forget. We gotta get the likes up while we're in here now. And of course, let's go over next week's match that they announced. Before we go over that, let's go over next week's match. Now, next week's match, one match that was announced, and I'll talk. This is part of what went wrong with Raw. Next week, they got a tag team match. This will be on next week's Raw. We got a women's tag team championship triple threat match. Damage Control versus Unholy Union versus Pure Fusion Collective. So all three of them will be in a match. And whoever wins will become WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Now let's go what went wrong with Raw. Let's get back to that. Let's not forget about that. Now, what went wrong with Raw? And it's kind of what I see here. And I still don't get this for life of me, guys. I still don't get it. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I don't like it. I don't like this part at all in the show. While Raw was amazing, and it was, a couple things I had an issue with. Couple things. First thing I had an issue with is one of these teams on here, this brand new team name, and I don't like this name. What kind of name is Pure Fusion Collective for a stable? Why would they name that? Why would they do that? I just don't understand that. If you're supposed to be, especially the team that's supposed to replace Damage Control, you're supposed to be the brand new stable on Raw, the flagship show. Why are you called Pure Fusion Collective? I mean, what's the purpose of this name? I don't get it. I don't like this name. I don't get this. This name don't make no sense. How does this tie into Pure Fusion Collective? Could we call this Pure Fusion? Take the collective off. Now, they may change this name later on. They might do that if they got any sense to change his name, but I don't like this whole name of a Pure Fusion Collective. I think it's real silly. I think it's real dumb, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, who told him it was open mic night on this name?
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Told you that. This name is trash. So with this being said, I didn't like this. And of course, as usual, when I don't like something, it goes on my list.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So yes, I did not like this part of the show at all. I didn't understand it. I don't know what the whole deal is with this at all. I just don't get it. So that right there is ridiculous. I don't know why they're doing that, but I'm still trying to figure that out. I really am. I really am. But other than that, though, that is one problem I saw with the show. That's one problem I saw, and I don't get it. But I guess they gotta do what they gotta do. But let's go with some more stuff that happened with the show. Let's see what else didn't make no sense. Now, we had another part in the show. Ozzy Jones is Raw. He's on Raw. He's a dominant big man. He's with the whole, New Day. He's with them, which is great, but to take down, as I stated earlier, you had a guy that was taking down New Day. He's with New Day. He's there to help him take down. That's misstated already. I get that. I really do. But the thing about it is, what I don't understand about this segment here, why do this? Why have this segment go down like this? And you already had a big man that you previously got his contract. Why didn't you do this with Bobby Lashley? Bobby Lashley could have been a perfect guy to be in that story. He could have been a perfect fold for that. That didn't make no sense to me whatsoever. It really didn't. If you think about it, it makes sense why. Bobby Lashley's Street Profits were feuding with the Final Testament. Instead of Final Testament, you could have switched it off and had Bobby and his Street Profits guys. They could have been the guys to also take down New Day. That's exactly what Karrion Kross is doing right now. And this is calling it the whole breakup, the whole that's causing a friction between Xavier and Kofi. Instead of using Karrion Kross in the Final Testament, or using, honestly, you could have used Bobby for that. I understand why they didn't do that. I don't get that at all. That didn't make no sense to me. You got all this dominance there. Why go through that? Why? I don't understand that. What are they fuzzing? Yeah, I don't get it. So, with that being said, you already know this. What list this goes on.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, they made the list on this one. This was silly to me. Did not make any kind of logical sense. And they try to use him to replace Bobby. I get that, but you didn't have to. While Bobby was here, you should have had him in a good storyline before he got hurt. And they didn't do no story for him. So go figure. That's what they're doing, I guess. It just didn't make sense to me. So we'll see. We'll see what the next move gonna be. But other than that, that's what I saw of that whole issue that I had a problem with. I just didn't get that at all for life of me. Like I said, it's just ridiculous though. I don't know what they're trying to prove here. I don't know what they're trying to prove. I mean, but we'll see what happens next. Ivy Nile, the heel turn, didn't make sense because we're already aligned with the Creed brothers, and I don't know what angle they're trying to have her go with Maxine Dupree. I don't think they have time for a match. I think it'd be a wasteless feud. But when Creed brothers decided to join up with Chad Gable, they should have just gone ahead and had her go heel with them. I don't understand why they did this at all. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. But I didn't get that. I didn't get that for life of me. I think this is a wasteless feud. I think it's not gonna do anything for nor Ivy or nor Maxine. I don't see where this will go. I don't. With that being said, you already know what list goes on next.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So this definitely made the list on that part. Now I got another announcement to make. Another announcement. I'm done with what went wrong with Raw, despite being a great show. There's always room for improvement. But another thing I do want to touch on right now. Another announcement, in case you didn't know, Dakota Kai will be out for 8 to 10 weeks. She got injured last week. That's not just storyline. She really is out. I know she just came back. I get that. But it's been reported that Dakota Kai will be out. She'll be out of action. Now, as far as that goes, I'm not sure. She's going to get surgery, and she has a torn meniscus. So, get well, Dakota Kai, but she will be out. So, 8 to 10 weeks, we're looking at, 2 to 4 months? So, it just sucks because she just came back. But I guess it makes sense because Damage Control is pretty much broken up anyways. Asuka's already out. Now she's out again. It's just like a curse to be in that stable. I hope Io and Kyrie Zayn are staying healthy. You know, Kyrie Zayn had injury issues as well. So I don't know. But she had a torn meniscus. I mean, she just came back from ACL injury. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But she will be out for a little bit, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen with her next. I don't know what they're gonna do. But it's a part of what went wrong list. But yeah, I don't get that at all. I'm tired of Carlito. I talked about Carlito last week. He was in my what went wrong with Raw last week and a couple weeks prior. I said he had no value. He didn't make no sense. I didn't want to highlight him again. Well, I see I'm not the only one that has an issue with Carlito. Figure 4 TV has an issue with that too. And since you said that, since you've been saying what I've been speaking about, I'll give this bonus for you. You make the list, Carlito, again.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So that's all for Monday Night Raw. That's what went wrong with Raw of everything. Everything's pretty much subscribed. But let's talk about let's get going. Also, too, if you haven't already, now I gave this a review already. I already told you what I thought of Monday Night Raw. If you guys go on my community tab, check out what you think of Monday Night Raw. So far, I have 61% of you guys gave it an A, 33% gave it a B, 3% gave it a C, and D/F, you got a 2%. So if you want to vote on Red Carpet Rain, what you think of Monday Night Raw, what do you expect? You guys check that out. And tell me what you guys think of this show. I'll be glad to hear what you guys think of it. Not just vote, but comment below if you have to. Check that out, guys. Very interested to see what you guys think of the show. But as we are going to shift gears in a second, and we're going to move on and go to the bonus round. We're going to see what the next move is, the bonus round, and we're going to talk about it. Yep, it's Craig Bailey's injury, pretty much. Right. Bad luck, probably is. But let's get on to the bonus round. We're going to go over there, and we will close on Facebook. We'll stay on X as well as YouTube. You guys get the likes up, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the bonus round here. We will talk about how to book the mixed tag team match at Bash in Berlin. Let's get to that in a second. Give me a moment. Let's get this ready. All right. We are here. We are here at the bonus round, guys. We are here to talk about how to book the mixed tag team match at Bash in Berlin. You guys, of course, this was announced on Raw during one of the commercial breaks. We're going to have the Terror Twins of Rhea and Damian versus Liv and Dom. This will be a mixed tag team match. Could be a very good tag match if booked correctly. But while we on a subject, how would this go? What's the best booking scenario of doing this match? Let's see. What could it what could be the whole thing of booking this whole thing? What's the best book scenario? We know that Damian and Rhea have both been betrayed. We know that's the whole case here. These two been betrayed, and we know that they are out for revenge. We know they want to come back at Liv and Dom at the best way possible. We know that's the whole thing. And I'm trying to see what's the best way I will book this whole match. What would be the best way to do this? Now we can say here, maybe in this match, if they have this match at Bash in Berlin, this is Germany, you know they like for some reason a shocking win. And the reason I would say that, maybe we get Liv and Dom win their first match, and maybe they get that due to interference. Maybe that'll be the case here. You never know. That could be a good thing here. That could be a good way to book that. Now, that's one way. Because you gotta remember, if they get interference, you know Finn Balor is still a factor here. Finn Balor, every time Damian gets into his groove, every time Damian is about to go in and get the win, or Rhea about to get an attack on Liv, we see either Dom defend Liv, or Liv defend Dom, or Finn Balor the rest of Judgment Day. We always see that here, and it will not be no different if it goes down Bash in Berlin. Expect Finn Balor to cause a distraction. Expect the rest of Judgment Day of Carlito and JD McDonough. Them guys are going to get in, have a distraction, and this will cause things to get ugly. So I could very well see that being the case here. It could very well go in that way. So do not, and I repeat, do not sleep on Finn Balor. Finn Balor is going to play a big key role in this whole thing, because he's going to be the one to cost the match for the Terror Twins. And, these two are definitely a unit. They're going to stick by together. They will. I'm not doubting that at all. But when they stick together, though, you got to expect they're going to take a fall in that. They're going to take some type of fall. And these two, they pretty much got to ride together, die together type of thing. That's the whole thing go down between Damian and Rhea. But I could very well see in this whole case being a scenario there. So like I said, again, do not count the rest of Judgment Day out. Now that's one scenario. That's one scenario of how that's going to go down. Now another scenario that could go down, I'm just throwing it out there. Let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say if they do, you gotta remember, Rhea and Damian lost big at SummerSlam due to the betrayal. They lost big. Now I said that they win the first match due to interference. Terror Twins win the second match. That could be one thing. But we gotta forget, they were both betrayed. And I mean Rhea and Damian at SummerSlam. They were both betrayed. And they're gonna have to find a way at some given point to get their kind of redemption for this. They're gonna have to find a way. Now, thing about it is, it may not go down that way, but if they do go down that way of Terror Twins, maybe if they don't lose the first match, what if they were to win? That's another scenario we could look at. These two could possibly win. They could very well win the first match of the two. Now, it doesn't have to be an immediate matches back to back. They could do something later. That could be a case here. Now, this is another scenario I have. Now, let's say they win the first match. Let's say they have separate matches, because they can have a match here. Remember, the first match is at Bash in Berlin. They have a tag there, and these guys do win, meaning the Terror Twins. They're standing tall, their hands are raised. But the thing about it is, what if they have separate matches of Bad Blood? What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Let's say Rhea gets another opportunity at the WWE Women's World Championship, the same championship that Liv is still holding. And let's say as well that we have Damian Priest. He finally gets his hands on Finn Balor, and they get something going on at Bad Blood. That could be a good scenario there. That could be a very good scenario of that going down. We could get a very good scenario of that. We could get a Bad Blood match between Damian, Finn. Rhea gets another shot at the women's world title. And maybe Dom saves Liv. Rhea's screwed again. Or if it's a steel cage match between Liv and Rhea. And then, but Liv still walks out with the women's world title. Let's say Damian gets his hands on Finn. Let's say he is about to get on the win. And let's say the Judgment Day. Get involved again. Carlito, JD McDonough, or you could add Dom and Liv. And Damian loses. And then it goes revert right back. They have another tag team match again. And they end it. It could end a few there too. But it could go to a Bad Blood. You know, not at all. Gerald Yang. I know you better calm down with this acknowledgement. Yelling like that. I don't know who told you it's open mic night. I hope you playing.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Let's watch with the all caps, buddy. Let's watch with all caps. You don't have to get announced at all. Just saying. If you're trolling, that's cool. But if you're not, just let you know. Remember, it's not open mic night. So chill out. But if you good, we good. If you're joking, we good. But welcome to the ring anyway. But anyway, this could be the very scenario here. Bad Blood. We could get a match of these two because Rhea, and the reason I said it because Rhea and the Terrible Twins do win the first match, and Rhea could say, I want a chance for Liv's championship again. It could be a steel cage, it could be a false count anywhere, or it could be a Hell in a Cell match. Who knows? Then Damian and Finn Balor. They finally Damian finally gets some revenge on Finn for turning on him. So we can get that too. Let's not forget about that. And I think that would be a great scenario here. I really think it would be. So, but other than that, I think that would be a good scenario. I think this could be very long-term booking between these four individuals here because there's so many angles you can go. Now, Damian, he does face off against Finn. You could put Dominic Mysterio just to pretty much back up Liv, keep an eye on her, and he could back up Finn to keep an eye on him. You don't have to be in a one-on-one feud. They're all together. The Judgment Day is all together. We have to keep that in mind. These guys are a unit. They are a unit, you know? So we can't forget about that. These guys are all together. Now, it's a new Judgment Day, and I heard it's supposed to have a new name for what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I heard it could be a brand new name. You know, it could be a brand new group. Who knows? Because, the whole thing is Finn Balor, he said it. He told Damian Priest the reason why he turned on him. He said, Judgment Day, we are all about, a unit. There's no egos. There's no leaders. And he was telling Damian, you kind of broke that, when you became world heavyweight champion. So we got to remember, Don doesn't have to be in a one-on-one feud. These guys could still be together. They still can hold each other down. Remember, this is the new Judgment Day now. We got Finn, Liv, Dom, Carlito, JD. It's 5 people. Still a good amount of people in that stable. And while Liv and Finn are in matches, we can have Dom definitely keep a close eye on one of them, and he's going to interfere in one of these two matches to ensure that Liv wins and retains her women's world title, and for Finn to win, make sure he keeps the dub over Damian Priest. And this all could unsettle at WrestleMania, for all we know. It could be very well the case. But I do know this thing with this whole scenario, this will all start. This is not going to be a short-term thing by any means. It's going to start at Bash in Berlin. This is what I call a long-term booking, and it's going to be a good storyline. It all starts here, and it's going to start with this first encounter of this mixed tag team match, and it could go either way. Damian and Rhea could get the win. They could get an easy win, but it doesn't mean that it has to end exactly at Bash in Berlin. There's going to be more matches ahead of them instead of behind them. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So that could be the very well case there. So I don't know what the whole thing going to be there. I don't know who it is. Who are you referring to, Benoit? Who are you talking about? I don't know. You talking about Damian, Dom? Because I know you ain't talking about me. So let's get it going. But this could be the very well case. But anyway, I think this will be a good way to book this whole scenario. It could be a good way to book it. Could be. So how is that? You the one got no emoji. You're a coward. You can't show your face in emoji or any video. So since you want to talk that garbage, since you want to try to mess with the stream, I got a couple words.
Bye-bye, bitch. Bye-bye, bitch.
Yeah. So I would like to see where the story going to go next. We got to see what's going on between Rhea, Damian, Finn, Liv, Dom, the whole Judgment Day. This is going to be long from over. Long from over. Could be the well thing. But it's going to start at Bash in Berlin. It's going to start there. K-Car 154 said, this story is probably the best that we had in 15 years. You got a point. Salute to you. Welcome to the ring. Yeah, I think it is. And it's not going to just end at Bash in Berlin. I don't believe this is going to be a one-off tag team match. No matter what team wins, I don't see it ending like that. They're going to have some stuff down the line. It's too many key players. You got a brand new Judgment Day formed. You really think that Rhea and Damian's going to win that one match and that's just it? It's over? You or Liv and Dom win that one match and it's over? No, this is going to be long. This could last till WrestleMania next year. It could very well be. Could very well be. Let's get the likes up, guys. But yeah, it could very well be the case here. So I don't know what the whole thing is going to be. I know that something big is going to be planned with this whole story. It starts at Bash in Berlin. It could end at WrestleMania. I don't know. Because these two, this Monday night is telling us that it's going to be booking there. Monday night told us everything that's going to kick off this story. You got Rhea going in on the whole story. You got her going off on both. Then next thing you know, you got Finn attacking Damian. Damian standing by Rhea's side. This is going to be long. Now, we talk about the whole Drew and CM Punk be long-term booking. We could talk about the whole Roman and Solo be long-term booking add this story to the list. This is another long-term book scenario. So I really believe that's the whole case going to be. But other than that, though, guys, I got nothing else more to say regarding this whole thing. And the whole thing we talked about here, and we talked about the mixed tag team match of Bash and Berlin coming up. And my question is, how it would be best way to book the mixed tag team match at Bash and Berlin. We are talking the Terror Twins of Rhea and Damian versus the couple of Dom and Liv. You guys let me know what you think of this whole scenario. What would be the best way to book this whole matchup? Who wins the first match? And it should be more likely be a second one. What happens at Bad Blood? What happens at Survivor Series, WrestleMania, etc.? You guys let me know. I greatly appreciate that. I'd love to hear what you guys think on that. Soon to be able to pop up for Red Carpet Reign of wrestling content. You guys let me know. Click those links. Check it out. You guys already know what it is. You already know. And it's going to be O-U-N-T.
Something happened this weekend. And I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.